Hi everyone, welcome to Trellis's first ABCs. I'm Camille and I use she, her pronouns. Today I'm going to spend some time answering questions as they relate to bullying. I always like to start with spend quality time together. So whether you're playing together or you're going for a walk with the family dog, just being together and asking about your kids' thoughts, feelings, and opinions will strengthen your relationship, but also boost their self-esteem. Also, help your kids connect with others, find activities they enjoy with people they enjoy. Building community is one of the best protective measures we can take when faced with bullying. Talk to your kids' school or daycare provider. They can watch out for any unwanted or harmful behavior. But your teachers may be able to also help with self-esteem building. Collaborate with teachers or school administrators whenever and however possible. So support your child with perspective building questions to create empathy. So asking your child what led up to a very specific bullying behavior. Ask them, how do you think that kid felt when you did that? Or even asking, have you ever felt that way? Talk about other alternatives for conflict resolution with your kid. Think about how we can model these skills in the home. Practice having these conversations with your kids. And a good way to do that is through role play. Other resources that you and your kid can look at, one is reading to your child, I Am a Human, a book of empathy. Or for yourself as a parent, reading Born to Love, Why Empathy is Essential and Endangered. This is such a complicated question. So we have to remember that standing up or against a behavior is not necessarily going to stop it from reoccurring. Similarly, the message around just ignore the bully can be very disempowering for a child, and they might feel that the response isolates them from their supports. Try and move towards connection as a way to address the behavior. So saying to your kid, I'm here for you. Let's talk about it. How can I help you? And who do we need to talk to? These comments ensure that the child will continue to talk to you about what is happening for them, and also invites you and your child to bring in additional resources. When kids are experiencing bullying at school, they can feel very isolated in their own feelings. We want to establish connection with other people that are more available to support them because they're going to be in school. But it is also important to find people that your child identifies as a support. So one of the hardest parts of parenting is advocating for your child. Information is your superpower here. If you can ask your child lots of questions, get some details, think about the who, what, when, where, and why. You are better equipped to give them the information that they can look into, watch out for, and identify areas of the day when a child is isolated or unsupported or supervised. Advocating for your child is not a one and done type of situation. It requires relentless engagement on the parts of the parent. Listen, validate, and ask tons of questions. Resist the urge to blame the child or jump into trying to solve the problem. Talk to your kid about their feelings, like asking, were you scared? How did you know that you were scared? And where in your body did you experience the fear? As parents, we jump to problem solving because we want to stop or reduce the pain that our child is feeling. But it's important to remember that problem solving, like moving schools or changing classrooms, does not guarantee that the experience will stop or go away. We want to find ways to build skill, increase connection, and establish coping skills that will help our kids talk about their experiences, ask for help, and set supportive boundaries within their environment. So schools can be a really hard environment for kids when they do not feel safe. It can be helpful to try and repair or rebuild a sense of safety within the environment by establishing a safe place where he can go, where he feels safe, where he has a sense of belonging or has a supportive connection. When people experience prolonged bullying, they begin to question their self-worth. It is important to explore how the child thinks about himself. The best way through bullying is to build other supportive connections. This can be hard when a child is trapped in a negative self-worth or negative narrative. It is important to explore the child's emotional state outside of school. Call in some resources and learn new skills to manage the emotional experience that occurs during and post-bullying. Like I said, call in other resources. So explore the child's identity, skills, and internal resources. So saying to your child, that sounds really hard. How did you make it through that situation? So model that behavior. Kids learn best when they watch or experience a skill. The best place to practice is with someone they trust. Also, looping back to building empathy over throwing shame. So for example, saying, I feel sad when versus how dare you, that's not nice. So when we are freezing, there is usually a reason attached to that response. It can be a way to protect and keep us safe. So I would encourage you and your son to start thinking about ways that he can regulate himself in that moment and practice that regulation skill in times or moments when he is not in freeze mode. Also think about, is there another leader that you feel safe sharing your experience with? And build other connection at work through coworkers to create a sense of safety. Also, start to explore what is the value that you're hoping for. Are you hoping that you're able to respond to your supervisor in that moment and you want them to know what they're doing is not okay? So understanding what your hope is out of the interaction.